Before we get into our discussion with our guest, a quick note. The you problem with Dr. P is for informational purposes only. It does not constitute medical or psychological advice and is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment.
Welcome to the You Problem with Dr. P. How are you?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
Good, thanks for calling. So, spill the beans. Tell me what's up.
Well, I saw the ad on Instagram, and what I wanted to discuss was just how I've grown from being someone who was pathological about ruining relationships with my behavior, and just the whole sense of responsibility that I wish more people, specifically men, would take in their actions.
Okay, so what do you mean in ruining relationships with your actions?
I was basically unfaithful in every relationship I'd been in, starting from puppy love, high school, clean through marriage into my adult life.
And you are how old?
I am now 56.
56?
Yes.
And so you're implying that you have recovered from this way of functioning?
Absolutely. I have no desire to conduct myself in that manner anymore. And when I look back on it, it was something that I used to view with pride, that macho, machismo kind of thing. And now I look on it with disgust these days.
I guess you figured out that if you play too much pool with too many balls, you wear out your stick, huh?
I suppose. I mean, it's actually heavier than that. I thought about the potential of what could have happened with regards to family issues. I placed myself in danger a couple of times, and both of those occasions involved people with children. So had tension spilled over to the point of rage, there could have been lasting repercussions beyond, moral standards.
Well, there's always repercussions when there's bad behavior, now isn't there?
Absolutely, absolutely,
So what made
absolutely.
you think about recovering? I mean, what happened that brought you to that point that you went like, "Oh my God, look, I'm screwing up a bunch of people with my behavior."
I don't recall if I had a pivot moment. I know that what had me wanting to articulate it now is a couple of years ago, I started finding reels online with regards to shows that have been created about cheaters.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, the ones where women were being unfaithful seemed to impact me more because after my marriage ended as a result of my behavior, I started a whole nother career of spending time with other men's women.
Oh,
And yeah, so when I saw those reels,
professional gigolo, huh?
well, I won't say I was professional, but I
I'm just being facetious. Go
yeah,
ahead.
that's cool. No, I positioned myself as an ear to listen, a shoulder to lean on, to get what I want. Being a tactician, if you will, and place myself in a couple of potentially life-threatening situations. And at no point during that phase did I give any thought to what that other gentleman might have been going through. The same way I didn't give any thought to what the woman that I was in a relationship was going through years ago.
Oh, okay, so the pancake was flipped. So you got to see
Exactly.
the other side of the situation, huh?
Exactly. And
Okay.
it's very brutal because people will say that women are sensitive. I can 100% assure you that men are 10 times more sensitive. It's a thing called pride, and we don't handle it well at all.
We have pride? Don't insult me. We definitely have pride. Listen, it's as damaging for one person as it is to another person. That's the problem. This is hostage taking behavior, man. So I'm glad that you've decided to look at things from another perspective. That's great.
Right.
Do you, I mean, do you have a question about how this affects women, or do you have a question how this affects men, or how infidelity in general affects people?
I guess if I were to form a question, it would be based on my observations over the years. It occurs to me that when you hear expressions like men are dogs, it strikes me as that women don't seem to want to take full responsibility for their roles in this situation. Is that a fact? And if so, why is that?
Okay, so whether you're a man or a woman, um, not taking responsibility is not about if you're a man or a woman. Not taking responsibility is about not having insight, is about not having self reflection, it's about not taking accountability. It's about not having empathy. It's about not being able to put yourself in somebody else's shoes. So it's an overall psychological shortcoming. That is the problem. And usually these things come from having a big hole inside of you that you try to stuff things into. And eventually you realize that no matter how much you put into that hole, if you don't fix the things that are at the root of it, it just leaks right out onto the floor.
Understood. The reason I posed that question, because throughout my life, I've seen a ton of magazine articles and I've seen interviews where I've heard women and read women ask questions like, where are the good men? And some of the most vigorous speeches I've heard about men's behavior have taken place in cafes where I was entertaining company of a woman who was actively cheating with me. That's why.
It's the same thing both ways.
Yeah.
It's the same. It's about character. It's the
Right.
same thing both ways. Are there good men out there? Sure. Are there good women out there? Sure. If you want to find a good woman or a good man, what you should be concerned about is about a person's character.
Well, I mean, we have people who are coworkers, and they're having these daily conversations, and what they're finding in these interactions with this individual at work is what's not being, found in their relationship or at home, so to speak. I think it typically starts off with stimulating conversation with someone who seems to be on your level.
You have to have the character that not all stimulating conversation ends up in bed.
Right.
I mean, that's just, you have to have the character. Stimulating people are everywhere, and understimulating people are everywhere. But when you find someone stimulating, is it necessary to have a romantic connection with a person like that? That's about character.
Absolutely. I agree. I
You
agree with
know,
that.
it's not all intellectual conversations are flirting.
Right. And I think to add to that, if people feel or see it heading in that direction, there should be some way to curb it.
Yeah, it's a you thing. Like, you're supposed to go like, whoa, 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 whoa. If someone's experiencing me in this way, again, going back to having the insight and the wherewithal to understand how you're feeling, you go, whoa, whoa, whoa. This is not in the direction that it needs to go. And you politely kind of go like, well, it was nice talking to you. Have a nice day. Cheerio. You know what I find about men and women? They're more similar than they think that they are.
Okay.
And it is about character. It is about knowing yourself and understanding where your limits are. We're not animals. I mean, you're supposed to go like, this is probably not going in a good direction, and I'm not going to affect other people. I'm not going to affect my wife or my husband or my girlfriend or my partner or my, whatever. You're
Right.
supposed to be able to go like, whoa, 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 this is about self-control, man. Now, is it enticing to have conversations with people that stimulate, that sometimes take you out of the routine? Sure, there is. I can understand that. I no judgment, right? But again, you play with too many balls, you're gonna wear out your stick, and that's a losing game, man.
Absolutely. And that's the space that I've arrived in. And it's interesting. I'm in a relationship now that I've been in for a little more than a year. And ironically enough, there were two litmus tests, if you will. One coworker asked me if I would like to join her for lunch. And it wasn't just a simple lunch suggestion about food.
Yeah, the answer is no.
Exactly. There was enough.
The answer is no, thank you. I appreciate the offer, but I'm in a committed relationship now.
Yeah. And
So,
that's
no.
where I am, Ace. That's
Well,
where I am now.
Stick to it. Keep self-analyzing. Keep, and listen, it's exciting to have that kind of like burst of different and maybe romance or what you're getting and not getting. Relationships have a tendency to become normal, but the whole point is to be normal. So just, no, thank you. I appreciate it. Here's the thing. Self-respect is not a man thing or a woman thing. Really, loyalty is about self-respect.
Right. Well, does normal have to be boring?
Yes. The answer to that is at times, Abso-fucking-lutely. Yes. And when things get boring, your job is to figure out how to work with that partner to make sure that you guys, together find things that get you out from the rut. But yes, long-term relationships have all kinds of phases, and not every day is Disneyland. So, you kind of have to own the fact that sometimes relationships go through phases that are a little boring, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Focus on other things that are entertaining when the relationship is boring. Find a
Right.
hobby.
Well, I've done all kinds of tricks in this relationship. I mean, I've set up things like I bought us some games to play. We could sit and play cards. I have taken her to a couple of my poetry readings. I was the first person to ever expose her to that. So I've been active with regards to
Well,
that.
good. Be careful that you're not a pathological romantic with all this poetry and stuff, You do
No,
understand the very successful poets usually end up kind of alone and by
yeah,
themselves. So,
we can
yeah.
be self-absorbed a lot.
You don't say. Really?
Or yeah,
Ah,
if I have something that I'm trying to research and study with regards to
yeah.
poetry, I'll be in a room and I'll look up and 2.5 hours will have gone by while she's in the other room watching a movie.
Ah, well, maybe this is a you problem.
Yeah, absolutely. No doubt about that. I
Well,
can definitely be absorbed into what I'm trying to accomplish because, being an artist is a nonstop journey, it's a nonstop process, it's a nonstop evolution. And it's kind of like if you've ever heard the term fishing fever, where once a person starts fishing, they don't want to stop. It's the
yeah.
same with regards to trying to grow as an artist and learn more things. You're constantly being stimulated, at these different points, and you can just get locked in sometimes.
Well, it sounds like you found the answer as to why you've been cheating all your life. So, like you said, fishing, yeah, you can only fish so many fish, right? But just fish the ones that you're gonna eat, man. Let's do the environment a favor, okay?
No doubt.
All right. Thank you for calling. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Have a
And
great
bye.